Hello there. Welcome to the Kirk Minahan Look Ahead Show. Today is August 11th, 2021. I am joined by Andrew Augustus. Andrew, how's it going, my good friend?
It's always a good day. It's Thursday. That means tomorrow's Friday. We get a Friday KMS show. So it's always good news on that front.
Yes, Friday KMS show. It's the first one in 2 weeks. Last week we had one on Thursday. Carabas, I feel like Carabas is not in on Fridays as much as, I just feel like Fridays are no longer Carabas' spot. Not necessarily because he can't make it. I did text him earlier this week. I'm like, hey, so we're going back to Friday, but Kirk won't be in. Are you available? He said, yes, he'd be available. But then I don't want to say news was dropped, but Kirk said that it's up to David Cullinane and myself to try to figure out who to have in on Friday. And then I brought up like, hey, well, Jared said he's available. And Kirk said, we're good on Jared for this week. If I feel like Jared's more of a in-person guest. So it will not be Jared Carabas next week.
I was going to say, I think that's a very fair thing, especially with the dynamic Kirk and Jared have. It will not be the same over it. Like, how's Kirk going to yell at him for looking at his phone and stuff? It's just going to be a different dynamic through that. So I'm actually glad that Carabas isn't coming in. Like, I'm a Jared guy. I still think he's funny. I love listening to him on the show. So like I feel like once baseball season's done and he has the downtime again, kind of like we got last year, it'll be the same way. So we'll get more Jared, I think at the end. So I'm excited to see who the mystery guest is. I think all across the Miniverse, I've seen a lot of random predictions and guests ideas thrown out. So it's going to be curious to see. I've seen some funny ones that could put a lot of factors into it. And here's the other thing too. Kirk even said, depending on who you guys have in there, we could have a 30-second show tomorrow. Yeah. Or maybe it'll be 10, 20 minutes, but it'll just be you, Cullinane, and the mystery guest. So
yeah, just us reading the ads really quick.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, but hopefully, when Kevin from Bristol comes in tomorrow, that's not. Oh shit! Did I say Kevin? Damn it! Did I just break the news? No, it's not. It's not Kevin from Bristol. So I'm sure that would be worst case scenario for Kirk to log on and just see Kevin from Bristol sitting there.
I can think one worse. I can think of one where you put Jay's Mayhem in there. That'd be far worse than if you put Mayhem in that seat, we would have a 5-second show. He would be on and say, "Fuck this, I'm out," and just leave.
Yeah, if Jay's Mayhem walks through that door, I'd probably kill myself on screen, so we'd probably get taken off YouTube. But but yeah, I can definitely guarantee that those two aren't happening. I will say Dave kind of took the reins on this. I had a couple guests. We weren't sure at first if this was going to be it needed to be in studio or was on the phone. It was back and forth. It's very difficult to try to get someone in studio right now. So we have a couple names out there that I think would be that have the ball rolling, and I think it should make for a good show. Some new faces. Any ideas on who you like when you're first? Who's the first name that comes to your mind that says I would want that person?
The first thing that came to my mind was definitely Whitney, but even then, it's a different dynamic. You like that, but even I was thinking more of maybe KFC would be able to either come in somehow, just because we haven't heard from him in a while on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, you had a great joke at his expense, so it would have been a good little dynamic to bring him on, talk, and maybe confront you, or he would just say, "Who the fuck are you?" and give you that treatment. But at least I think if you knowing that now you could bring people in possibly over the phone, it just opens up. And the first question always comes is it going to be a Minifan again, or is it going to be like more of a Barstool person or someone from the outside world? Because we saw the Tim and Steve show at one time in December. We have Quantum Week Chris coming in now a couple of times. So it shows that it could be some potential. But if I'm hoping, I was going to say KFC because I kind of would like to see his reemergence into the world, if you will.
Yeah, I'd like to see KFC. It feels like it has been a while since he's kind of been involved in the Minifan universe. I feel like the last time he really had a spot on KMS was that whole, when Tim and Kent went on that rant against him, and then he chirped back. but I'm not entirely sure. That's a name that's been thrown out there, but I'm not positive that's going to be plausible for tomorrow's show.
Is it Dale Arnold? Did he pick up another phone call?
Dale Arnold actually wasn't going to come in, but then he heard that Dave Cullinane said he actually likes Dale Arnold. He thinks he's super edgy, and Dale said, "Oh, of course I'll come in." So yes, it will be Dale E. Arnold. No,
that would have been amazing.
He's too busy getting ready for the Bruins preseason, by lubing up his asshole and all that fun stuff. But I do think there are a couple names out there that are kind of outside the world, some inside the world, that I think would be. I think Kirk will be pleasantly surprised. Hopefully, come tomorrow when he turns on his phone. But any other names that you think like you would definitely not want in? Like anyone you think like, oh, Jesus Christ, for the love of God, don't have this person in?
I mean, no, just because I have so much faith in Kirk's talent and ability that he can literally make anyone entertaining for at least 30 minutes. Because, if he's pissed off and angry and doesn't want to do it, he'll give the 30 minutes, get the reads in, get out, but it'll still be a funny 30 minutes at that. So it's not necessarily don't much. I did see a tweet earlier today from Mikey Fowler showing off his new sweatshirt.
I did see that, yes.
Which kind of raised a couple interesting. I think it was Steve, you're live to tape tweeting it out. Was sharing that. So I think that would be interesting if you got someone more of like behind the scenes from Barstool that we might not have heard from as much. So I think that would be an interesting dynamic to even see, because let's face it, really since, I don't know, August, September of last year, things slowly have started to get better with Barstool, and even now with Cullinane on, the Barstool relationship's gotten even better, really taking off after the case too. So you're looking at these possibilities that are we going to see more of a Barstool emergence? And I think that could be a good thing, because look, Barstool's a very successful company for a reason, and they have a lot of good talent there. And I think the combination, the dynamic Kirk brings is so different than what anyone else there brings. It just makes an interesting listen.
Yeah, I do think someone behind the scenes would also be a good get, just because you kind of get like this is someone who's not necessarily, I mean, if you work at Barstool, technically like you're always talent, but I think it would be funny to see like, oh, well, these are the behind the scenes things you don't really see. Like who's a dick behind the scenes? Who's a super nice person behind the scenes? I think Mikey Fowler would be a good person like that. And obviously he's a huge fan of the show.
Huge man.
So that would be good. Another name I saw that quite a bit was Jack Mack. I know Jack Mack's he's been on kind of a, I don't want to say anti-Cuomo kick recently, but if you've seen a bunch of his tweets, he's very big on that Andrew Cuomo's resigning and everything like that. I think he could have some fun takes. I think him and Kirk could play off each other pretty well. I'm not entirely sure what his schedule is going to be tomorrow, but yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. The names we have that are almost intact should be good. Should be good. I know I jokingly threw out like Joe Jarchezel, which would be like a dream guest of mine. If you don't know who that is, go listen to the 4 Dumb Men episode back in, I believe it was like October of 2019. Joe Jarchezel was an incredible.
It's pure gold, pure magic, and hopefully he brings the 4 Dumb Men with him.
Yes. Well, hopefully one of them gets left home. Hopefully one of them misses the bus. But yeah, no, that would be a dream get. So I think tomorrow's kind of going to be very guest heavy. I don't think there's going to be too many topics. I haven't really seen much happen in the Miniverse or kind of in the news where it's going to be like a heavy, like the Cuomo stuff's been talked about. What else is there to talk about? I did see, I don't know how deep, I was just listening to it now. Uncle Chaps, you might know Chaps as the person who tried to get Steve Robinson fired and destroyed the show a couple of years ago. Their child recently came out as non-binary, so I don't know if Kirk, I can't imagine Kirk talking too much about that. I'm just trying to throw out some Barstool topics that might be out there.
I mean, you get the debut of KFC's new team, your mom, They had a good performance on the dozen. Well, Jack Mack and Rudy did. KFC basically did nothing. I think got one question. So, so you could kind of see scouting some competition with the team still. Is it still right now Rico, Kirk, and Pat, or
as far as I know? I mean, I know Pat's definitely in there, but as far as I know, Rico's still involved.
Maybe we bring Pat in. See, there's another possible guest. Like, let's introduce him to the world. It's a good way to, because I don't think a lot of Minifans know of Pat and know what he does besides just the former producer of Breakfast.
I think they know two things about him: that he used to produce Willie Colon's show during the whole Willie Colon saga, and that he's a homosexual. And I think those are really the only two things that the Minifans know about him. But he seems to be really, really cool guy, and seems to be great. So yeah, that would be. What do you say?
I said that'd be fun to have him in. Now I'm rooting for. That's who I want. I want Pat to be the one that's in that seat. It's either that or I want to see a traveling van parked out front of the studio, and then we can see the return.
You think Robinson's? You think the return of SE?
Fuck no.
From like Kirk said on Wednesday's show, I think Steve is out of this world. I think he's just done. You know, he did his year and a half, and he's going to move on to some sort of conservative talk show.
As soon as he does, the world will follow. The world will follow.
Yeah, I can see the world following him, but I can also see the world's kind of being like, I don't know if he'll get it every single day. Like I think when he starts up a new job somewhere, I'm sure people will call in or, you know, kind of mess with him for like a week. But I don't know if it's going to be, unless Kirk says go for it. But I really don't see it constantly being
even though there are some people who call the same person over weeks after weeks for no reason, just to talk about fisting.
Yes, well, I mean that's I don't know, that's different. I think Steve would at least be in on the joke and he'd play along, and it wouldn't be. I don't think Steve would ever get upset. But no, for him coming in tomorrow,
no,
that would be wild. I don't believe it's going to be him, but
a couple good ones. They want Linda Marks in.
Linda Marks, yeah. See, Linda Marks, we were going to have in, but then she wanted like an appearance fee of like $15,000, and she said she might not even be able to talk. So she just kind of wanted to show up, kind of take some pictures, you know, kind of claim her ground, and then get paid and leave.
Can she pre-record her segments?
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, she's just going to play a recording on her phone of her speaking. That's really one of the underrated people in this world who you think of like they could have had it all. She could have been she could have been writing songs for the Wilbur. She could have been writing songs for Madawaska. She could have been really like the singer of the Kirk Minahan show, and she just screwed that all up by showing up at Jack's Abbey with her voice completely shot and then still demanding. The voice still being shot is one thing. Demanding to be paid, you know, $600-$700, however much you wanted to get paid is just ridiculous.
Like I almost respect the move to asking for money, but if you're gonna do it, like just ask for like $100. Like take a little bit off. At least give like a show up fee. I think she would have gotten away with that. But
I think asking for money in general when you didn't sing, she set up a piano and then she played her song out of her iPhone into a microphone. Yeah, that was something. But no, I don't think something. I mean, it'd be great if Linda Marks ends up being the person coming in tomorrow. But
I mean, I wish I had that confidence though, like to be able to.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, me too.
To respect. Yeah. That's why you have to semi-respect it to be that confident and that like, all right, I'm going to do this, but it's the dumbest thing to do.
Yeah. So that's about it. I think for the look ahead show, I really haven't seen much other news. Anything else that you've seen in the Minifan world, or
nothing too much? I know everyone's getting ready and excited for Saco next weekend, so we're officially a couple days out, so it's going to be exciting. And I'm going golfing with some of the Minifans on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. because we're all nuts. But at least we're going to have
crazy going golfing. Damn,
you guys get the whole day after for that. But it's a fun part of this world. You meet people, and a lot of us have similar interests, and you have fun with it. So it's all thanks to Kirk. So at the end of the day, that's all we can say.
Perfecto. Well, I think that about does it I'm not entirely. Are you still on Kirk and off? Because I heard these whole things. So
Well,
should
the
you
way
be
it is,
promoting
yeah,
Kirk?
I'm still on Kirk and off. I'm still doing the news on Kirk and off, and we're gonna do like the kind of like the beginning recap at the first half, and then the interviews will just be Buddy and BMD. So I get that. If anything, I'm happy about that. It's less stress for me. And plus, enough Minute fans hear me here on with them, so I think people are getting sick of me, which is fine.
Perfect. Well, make sure to listen to the next episode of Kirk and Off, which normally drops tomorrow. Anyone particular?
We have a couple in the works. I think people will be happy with what we're working with.
If you steal Joe Jarcheesel from the main show, you're never coming on the show again. Just so you know.
Fair enough.
So, well, thank you everyone for watching, and me and Dave will talk to you tomorrow.